This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holidays are over, the decorations are down, and suddenly everything feels a little empty. It's normal to feel the winter blues after the holiday excitement. January, February, and March are by far my least favorite months of the year. It's cold and dark, and I have to get some extra vitamin D on board. I also need to keep my regular scheduled appointments with my therapist. So if you're feeling that post-holiday funk, I definitely suggest you checking out BetterHelp because maybe it's time to talk. You might also be one of those people like me who makes New Year's resolutions and you get super motivated. So maybe you need someone behind you to hold you accountable and come up with a plan to meet your goals. BetterHelp is super convenient, totally online. You have a therapist right at your fingertips whenever you need them. So head over to betterhelp.com/wifeofcrime1 to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wifeofcrime1 for 10% off your first month.
More Chumba Casino fan mail. Love this. It says, Dear Ryan, I love Chumba Casino. They're so much fun. I love the wild ride from the social slots to the slingo to jackpots quicker than a 6-time real spin. Everybody's finding their fun at Chumba Casino. Why don't you find out for yourself? Head to ChumbaCasino.com and enjoy hundreds of casino-style games for free with your welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply.
This podcast is an unscripted, unedited conversation about true crime. We take the cases very seriously, but I don't take myself seriously at all, and neither should you. Welcome to Wife of Crime.
So, Russ, we are back again with another toxic Valentine's Day episode. The story I'm telling you today is about a teenage girl who falls in love with a 300-year-old werewolf vampire who loves blood. Like, this sounds like the movie Twilight, but it is so not the movie Twilight. This is the case of the Richardson family murders. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wife of Crime, a true crime podcast where I tell my husband, Russ, true crime cases and he reacts to them.
What's up, folks?
What's
It's your
up?
boy. I'm back.
And we're back for another week. I'm feeling sore today, man.
You're doing your Stay Fit, Stay Alive workout thing.
I am. I have a few listeners with me, too. We're on this journey together. And I made a whole separate Instagram called StayFit_Stay Alive. So if you want to join the journey with us, you can, because there's a few of us doing this running app. But man, I am sore.
For the stay fat, don't get kidnapped part of our listeners, I think you guys should tag the Stay Fit, Stay Alive of eating your favorite food. Like, screw that. We're enjoying ourselves over here.
Yeah, it's been a struggle getting like used to working out again because I haven't worked out in a while. But yeah, we're having a good time over there. So if you guys are interested in joining the challenge, you can go follow that Instagram and join us. We're already halfway through our challenge, but we're going to have to do another one after this because we only got 4 more weeks and we'll be running a 5K. I can't believe it.
Pretty impressive, you know, in case some serial killers trying to get you or something.
Yeah, I could get away from them.
Unless they've been training to catch people. But I feel like most serial killers just go for low-hanging fruit.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So for our Patreon this month for February, we covered a documentary called Tickled. And the episode is really funny on this one because Russ was super weirded out by this documentary. So if you're interested in hearing that one and all of our other bonus episodes.
Yeah, that one was awkward AF, but it was kind of funny. Yeah, we have like over 20 episodes over on Patreon if you guys like run out of episodes to listen to over here or hate commercials. Just go over there and rock out. Or if not, stay here and we'll be back in a week and a half.
Yeah, exactly. But you have all the patrons that joined recently, so you got to give them their shout out.
All right, guys. You know, I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for rocking with us. This week we have Stephanie, Susan, Derek, Jamie and Donnie, Jenna, Laurel, a.k.a. the Soggy Toad Stitcher. I'm going to need a little message to find out what that's about. You're going to have to hit me up. Jessica, Carol, Katie, Angel, Jeremy, Chandra, Anna, Vanessa, Brooke, Linda, Nia or Naya, I'm not sure. Lindsay, Krista, Serge, Tara, Olivia, Julia, Crystal, Liz, Daisy, and Cody.
Wow.
So, cheers to all you guys. Appreciate you very much.
Wow, that was a long list.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, me too. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon.
All right, folks. So, I have my other little thing that I do because I've gotten a job for this podcast now besides just hanging out and drinking and stuff. So I have the review of the week. So every week you guys write reviews, well, more than every week, and there's tons of good reviews. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. And I read the one that I think is usually the funniest. And making fun of me works too if you want to do that to get on. So this week's review of the week is from Alwick92. It says, "The whole family loves it!" 5 stars. I started listening a few months ago, and Wife of Crime has quickly become a part of my weekly routine. I usually listen while I'm in the car with my baby. Now I'm convinced that he would develop a Bronx accent because of Russ. Or at the very least, his first word might be corn. I love the chemistry Jess and Russ have throughout the episodes. Russ never fails to make me laugh out loud about something. Great stories, banter, and jokes. On a side note, my husband can't see a school bus without pointing and shouting, "Cheese bus!" Now, so thanks for that. Haha. Vote for us.
Oh, that's good. That was a good one.
I hope your kid gets a Bronx accent and starts calling people corns. I would love that. I'm curious where you guys are from. Definitely not New York, though.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny that a lot of people didn't, like, we've gotten a lot of messages about the cheese bus thing. Like, a lot of people didn't know that cheese bus was a term that you guys use for a yellow bus.
We didn't even call it a school bus in New York.
Yeah?
Like, we would make fun of someone. He takes the cheese bus.
Really?
Yeah, because normally the cheese bus was reserved for the kids that, I don't know how the right way to say it
like
now.
Special ed.
Special ed kids. And they would take the cheese bus somewhere.
But you didn't have like you didn't take a yellow bus. Well, I guess you took public transportation to school.
Well, they gave you like a bus pass that you could just get on any bus, but that was like high school. But when you're young, there was enough schools to walk to. But in my mind, I never wanted to get on those cheese buses because those kids were bad and they'll beat you up on that bus. Oh. Yeah, it was no joke on there. Those kids, every time those cheese buses drove by, the kids would like curse at you out the window and stuff.
Flick you off.
Bro, they were bad. Especially if they were together, they'll whoop you.
Oh, God. Wow. Yeah, we've gotten so many messages about the cheese bus comment. That's so funny. Well, Russell, what is this week? It is a holiday. It is the holiday of love. What is it?
Corns Day. National Corns Day.
National Corns Day.
It's the holiday that, you know, if you didn't appreciate your spouse all year long, you buy her something just to make up for treating them like crap all year.
Oh, no. No, stop it. Well, it's Valentine's week. And, you know,
it's where
year...
every married couple goes to Applebee's or Fridays or something. And they hurry up and get home to them stinky kids that are sticky when they get back. The babysitter said they didn't really pay attention to them because they were on their phone the whole time.
I do feel like...
Well, go to Olive Garden and get the tour of Italy. That's the shit.
Yeah?
I love the tour of Italy.
You literally live in New York. You have the best Italian food pretty much everywhere around you, and you still talk about Olive Garden's tour of Italy.
Yeah, and then they got the good breadsticks with the salad dressing. I actually just bought the salad dressing from Costco. Pro tip, you get 2 bottles for like $7, big ones.
He did, and he was very excited about it.
Yeah.
By the way, just so everyone knows, Russ's favorite store of all time is Costco. He's even nicknamed it The Co. And he's the only person I know that loves Costco this much, but he loves Costco. And he's like, I'm about to go to The Co. He's like so excited about Costco.
I'm not that excited. They have good deals. And I have a wife that is bad with money.
Oh, stop it.
Well, she doesn't compare prices. Like if I could get something cheaper, say $5, I'll go save $5. Jess will just be like, I don't want to walk across the street. I'll get this latte over here with extra foam. That's an extra $12.75.
Whatever. Well, it's Valentine's week, and it's the romantic week of love. And most people celebrate it, but I would say, in the 11 years we've been together, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. And
Because you get me every day.
That's true. I'm so blessed. Every year now, we cover a case during the week of Valentine's Day with the goal of really just getting everybody out of the Valentine's mood. I try to find a sick and twisted killer couple that does horrific things in the name of love. In 2019, we talked about Carla Homolka and Paul Bernardo, the
We've been doing
Canadians.
this since 2019.
We have, yeah.
Wow.
In 2020... Oh, wait, maybe that was 2020. I'm getting my years mixed up. Then we talked about Erica and Benjamin Sifrit at the Ocean City, Maryland one. Remember that one? That was a
Didn't they
Valentine's.
they cut the people's head off or something?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's, you know what? That's my go-to. If I don't remember a case, I'm like, what happened? Didn't they cut the head off or something? There's a 50-50 shot. They're like, oh yeah, that's what happened. So I don't seem like a bozo.
Well, if you haven't listened to those episodes, go check them out. They're pretty horrific. And they're about some real piece of shit killer couples. And since, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, this has actually kind of become our tradition over the last couple of years to talk about disgusting pieces of shit killer couples. So I got another one for you this week. And I'm telling you a doozy of a case about a young girl who falls in love with a self-proclaimed 300-year-old blood-sucking werewolf and decides it's a good idea to kill in order to become immortal.
This corn is definitely wearing Jinko jeans. He's definitely shopping at Hot Topic wearing all that fake silver jewelry. Definitely one of them.
You are so funny. Are you ready?
Yeah. It probably has the gauge earrings that are mad big too.
Can't wait for you to see this guy's picture.
Did I get
You
it?
profiled it to a T. It was the ultimate profile. Seriously.
Yeah.
You are Russ the Profiler. I can't even deny it anymore.
Hashtag put respect on my name.
Okay. So this case is out of Canada in a town called Medicine Hat. Very interesting name, Medicine Hat.
I wonder, we got to look up the history, how that name came about.
Yeah, I do want to look that up, actually. I didn't look it up, but it's a very interesting name.
It's funny because someone that's listening is going to be from Medicine Hat. Mm-hmm. They're like, I can't believe you didn't know how our town was founded. And then they're going to tell us. But tell us nicely, because I don't know everything, even though I know everything.
Yeah, we will definitely update people if I get a message. We do have a bunch of Canadian listeners, and they love when I do Canadian cases. So the Richardson family was a typical middle-class family living in Medicine Hat, and according to neighbors and friends of the family, they were very happy, and they were very close. So the family was made up of Mark and Deborah, who were the mom and dad, and their two kids, Jacob and Jasmine. Jasmine Richardson was born in 1993. She was a happy young girl, and she was a really good kid. She got really good grades. As she grew up, she was your typical girly girl, like pink room, stuffed animals, a lace canopy bed. I had a canopy bed, by the way. I loved my canopy bed.
Just stay on topic.
No, I did. I love my canopy bed.
I'm just being old Jess from the old episodes that would tell me to shut up and listen.
When she turned 12, she started getting more interested in gothic stuff. She started listening to more rock and heavy metal and wearing black. She started wearing dark eyeliner and hanging out with a different crowd.
Oh.
Which, listen, I have to say, I totally went through this phase. I had about a year or two in middle school where I did this as well. I experimented with Wicca with a friend of mine who her whole family were Wiccan. I wore 90s band t-shirts. You've seen my pictures.
What's a Wiccan?
It's witchcraft. It's white magic.
It doesn't matter if you practice it. It still makes it fake.
Well, whatever. Their whole family were witches. And, me and her would go through spell books and stuff like that.
Those t-shirts are worth a lot of money now.
I know. I had so many. I had so many band t-shirts, and I bleached the front of my hair because I wanted to be just like the lead singer of the band Veruca Salt. LOL, shout out to anybody who knows that band. But
I don't know what that is.
I went through that phase. But for me, it lasted like 1 or 2 years, and then I chilled out, and I went back to listening to a mix of music styles, and then I kind of developed my own style, and I didn't stay in that like gothic phase. I did wear Janko jeans, though.
Is it because you didn't like drinking blood?
No, it's just like it was a bit extreme for me, and it wasn't really who I was. It was more about I was just a young girl. I was in middle school. I was hanging out with a crowd that was into all that, and so then I kind of conformed to that crowd. But then I kind of veered off a little bit and kind of, chilled out.
You remind me of like the goth kids from South Park.
Yeah, I was like that, but I was only like that for about a year and a half.
They try so hard to be not cool because it'll make them cool, but then that makes you a corn.
Yeah, exactly.
2 uncools equal 1 corn.
So one thing to note about Jasmine, okay, is that she hit puberty really fast. So like one day she looked like a little girl, and within a few months she gets her period and she develops, and now she looks way older.
How old is she now?
12.
Oh, geez.
So everyone assumed she was around 16 years old because she looked a lot older. But Jasmine was only in 6th grade at this time. And she got herself a MySpace account. And she said on the MySpace account that she was 16. And based on the pictures she was posting of herself and her profile description, it was very believable that she was 16. But you have to keep in mind throughout this story, Russell, she is only 12. Have you ever been around a 12-year-old? Like, when's the last time you were around a 12-year-old?
I try to stay away from kids as much as I can.
Well, 12-year-olds are very young. Like, they act young, they look young, they think young. They're only in 6th grade, 7th grade.
They probably get excited for dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And they're probably like, old enough where they're not fully sticky. They're just like a little sticky. They're learning how to like take showers occasionally.
Exactly. So Jasmine started getting in trouble at school. Not for her grades. She still got really good grades, but she wouldn't follow the dress code. She went to a Catholic school, so she was supposed to wear a uniform, but she decided to start writing like punk rock song quotes and pentagrams all over her notebooks. And she was wearing black eyeliner. She was just violating the dress code. And her parents and teachers are starting to get concerned because within like a matter of a year, she completely changed from the girly girl with the pink room to this. And it freaked everybody out. She also started getting really sassy and had a huge attitude problem with people. And
she's just becoming a woman.
This caused her guidance counselor. Shut up. This caused her guidance.
Point proven.
This caused her guidance counselor to get concerned and call her parents and say, she's changing a lot. She's being rebellious in class. She's acting a little inappropriate. So her parents started keeping a closer eye on her. But one night, Jasmine decides to go to a punk rock concert with a group of her friends. And while she's there, she meets a guy named Jeremy Stanky. But we're going to call him Stanky.
Stanky leg.
Jeremy Stanky. Although Jasmine looked like she was 16, don't forget, she was only 12. Jeremy, on the other hand, was 23 years old.
Oh, hanging out with little kids? What a corny pervert.
He thought she was 16 at first.
We need Chris Hansen to get on his ass. He'll get him in a room and ask him really awkward questions.
That's true. He will.
Like, why'd you show up with Oreos and gummy bears?
That's true.
Adults don't eat those at the same time.
It's a good point.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, it's a good point.
He'll be like, you have balloons and condoms. And like, he'll roast them.
Yeah, he does. He does roast them. I think he enjoys seeing them squirm because they're pervs.
He writes this material before he gets in that room, though, because sometimes he has some good stuff.
Yeah, he does. But I'm glad he does that show. That shit is sick.
Me too. It was kind of like cool to watch at first, but then eventually it was just repetitive, and I was glad he was getting them guys, but I just wasn't going to watch it anymore.
Yeah. Well, he was 23, and at first he thought Jasmine was 16 because she does look a lot older, but then he learned she was 12, but he chose to still talk to her.
Even at 16, it's a little...
Oh, yeah.
Some age gap.
Even at 16, it's a bit much. That's like 7 years.
Yeah, it's a lot at that point. But, when you get older, 7 years ain't that much. It's a weird thing, but people develop, differently. So, because I wonder, say 7 years. So if she was 18 and then someone was 7 years old, it's still kind of older. But once everyone's in their 20s, 7 years ain't nothing.
Yeah, once you're in your 20s. But when you're 16 and 23, that's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different world.
That's like arranged marriage ages.
Yeah, it is. But she was 12 and he knew it and he chose to stay with her. And they kept a secret relationship going. So Jeremy was raised in a really bad environment. His mom was an alcoholic and had a bunch of boyfriends while he was growing up. Jeremy suffered a lot of abuse at the hands of the men that his mom brought into their lives. At one point, when he was a teenager, one of his stepfathers actually hit him so hard on the head that he sustained a traumatic brain injury. By the time Jeremy became a late teen, early 20-year-old dude, he was like a full-blown goth. He would wear black eyeliner, just like you said earlier. He definitely wore Janko jeans. His favorite store was probably Hot Topic. And he even wore a vial of blood around his neck. Oh
my God, I knew it. I knew, and you know what else that everyone wore too?
What?
Which isn't corny. But do you remember Airwalk sneakers?
I loved Airwalks. I had a pair.
I didn't have a pair. I just wanted Nikes because, I was from the hood. So we just all wore Nikes.
Well, he even had a vial of blood around his neck. And he told Jasmine that he loved drinking blood and that he actually needed it to survive because he is a 300-year-old werewolf.
You know what'd be really fun?
What?
To slap him so hard and see him cry. Because now he's manipulating a little kid.
Yeah.
So just like these dudes that try to seem cool.
Yeah. But she's 12.
I'll slap the nose ring right out of him.
Yeah. I mean, she's 12.
And his lip ring and his eyebrow ring. And
he probably had all that.
And all that metal on your face.
Yeah, it's pretty infuriating, honestly, that he was so much older. 23 years old, and this is a 12-year-old. And like I said, 12-year-olds are so just young and small-minded, You guys already know because we have been talking about them for a while now. Via Hemp is by far one of our favorite sponsors we've ever had, okay? We use their products all the time. Maybe you're a little like me. You're a little anxious. You have a hard time settling down. You're kind of wound up a lot. If that's you, Via Hemp products are for you. Check out their website. You will find something that speaks to you. Maybe you're like Russ. You have a hard time sleeping because you have bad nerve pain or chronic pain. Then Via Hemp is for you because their gummies will help you get some quality sleep. Maybe you're looking to have a really good time. Maybe you just really like edibles. You want to laugh. You want to get the munchies. You want to watch a movie and have a really strong belly laugh. Then Via Hemp products are for you, okay? They're literally for everybody. So head over to viahemp.com, promo code wifeofcrime1 to get 15% off your first order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Wife of Crime #1 for 15% off your first order. Last year, Save More Money was the most popular New Year's resolution in America. Clearly, a lot of us feel like our money is slipping through our fingers. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not the best saver, and I don't know much about investing until I started saving and investing with Acorns. Turns out you don't have to be an expert at all because Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money goals. And I always thought that when people say, ooh, I invest in stocks, that they had a ton of money or something. Well, you don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you invest with the spare money you've got right now. You can literally start with $5. And you guys are spending that at Starbucks on these fancy lattes. So skip the coffee and invest with Acorns. You don't even need a ton of time. You can just sign up and start investing within 5 minutes. Head over to acorns.com/wifeofcrime or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. That's acorns.com/wifeofcrime. So Jasmine loved hanging out with Jeremy. They would constantly message each other online, and they talked on the phone all the time.
What year was this?
This is 2006.
Okay. So I was wondering, like, if they were messaging online instead of texting, but I guess, like, texts weren't around that much back then?
No, not back then. They were message online. They had MySpaces, and their favorite website to message on was called vampirefreaks.com. They both had profiles on that one. So for a while, her parents had no idea about Jeremy. They dated for a few months, and she would sneak out of the house, claim she was going to her friend's house, but she would really go and be with him. But they started noticing that she became like a full-blown goth, wore all black all the time, and even started wearing upside-down crosses on her head. Like she would draw upside-down crosses on her head. And she said that she liked scaring people because it made her feel powerful to scare people.
I wouldn't even... You know what? At 12 years old, you can only wear what your parents buy you. Mm-hmm. So, like, I just would be like, sure, you could wear all that stuff if you have a job and can buy it. But if I buy it, you're wearing ankle-length flower dresses. That's it.
Yeah, but she probably...
No, because then you look like a weird church person that hugs too long. So you can't do that either. There's a balance.
There has to be a balance.
Yeah, you don't want them to look like they're in a cult.
Yeah, but she probably... That's true. You don't want them to look like they're in a cult. But she probably just would wear regular clothes, but just wear all black. And I'm sure she took eyeliner, and she would draw eyeliner on, and she drew upside-down crosses on her head with the eyeliner.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I guess I'm old.
So after a while, Mark and Deborah, Jasmine's parents, had enough of the way she'd been acting. And they decided to start looking through all of her computer search history and to kind of just sneak around and see what she's doing online. They find the website, vampirefreaks.com, and MySpace, and they see all the communication between her and Jeremy. They find Jeremy's profile, and they find out he's a full-grown man. So they told her, you need to stop talking to this dude. And they grounded her. It's school, home, that's it. No computer, no nothing. No phone, nothing.
Yeah.
But Jasmine completely rebelled. She didn't listen to anything they said. She kept speaking to Jeremy anyway. She would do it from the computers at school. She would play hooky from school and go meet up with him.
So behind her parents didn't know.
Yeah, her parents didn't know. They tried grounding her, but she would find ways around it.
I think as a parent, I would have went and spoke to the dude as well.
Of course you would, Russ. You would have gone and beat the shit out of the dude.
I would let him know there's going to be some major consequences.
You wouldn't have let him know there would be major consequences. You would have been the consequences to these actions.
Yeah, because you already...
And then you would have gone to jail.
You already acted.
Well, he's a full-grown man, so you're not going to jail for beating up a minor.
No, that's true. Because then I could say he hit me first.
True, you could.
I could say that was... Oh, and then you get him for statutory rape. Beat him up and make him go to jail for statutory rape.
Yeah.
And then it's like a double win because you beat him up and then you put him in jail and then everyone else in there is going to beat him up and then he's going to be a girlfriend in there.
Well, but the thing about this was her parents didn't realize that she was like physically hanging out with him. They thought that this was like a online relationship. Remember like AOL Instant Messenger? They thought that
ASL.
Yeah, age, sex, location.
Yeah.
Yeah, they thought that this girl was just communicating with him online and it was more of like an online thing. I don't think they realized that she was actually meeting up with him and doing this stuff in person as well.
I didn't do the ASL thing much because once we had a family computer, once I found out you could see boobs on that thing, I was like 12 and it was before there was like porn anywhere.
Yeah.
And I got busted because I didn't know that there was search history. It was new. The computer had the big tube screen. My stepfather came and talked to me. Like, what he should have said is, he was all like, Jesus this, Jesus that. What he should have said is, man, we all like boobs, just don't get caught. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
And I barely got to see the boob because by the time the screen loaded, it was so slow. It was like up to the top of the boob. I didn't even get to the nipple. Someone would like come by, you have to X out the page. It was terrible.
Dial up, right?
Yeah, man. And I would try to sneak it, but I got busted. And they saw how many pages I clicked to try to see it, but I rarely got to see anything. It took too long to load.
But you know what? That was when this was an innocent time. Like, I kind of feel like nowadays kids are growing up with all this access to shit. It's like crazy. But even back then, I mean, this is 2006.
Yeah, kids have unlimited porn. That's nuts.
That is nuts. But even back then, she got in a lot of trouble too. And this was back in 2006. So anyway, Jasmine completely rebelled. She visited her boyfriend Jeremy anyway, and she kept speaking to him online, which in the end would be the nail in the coffin for both of them.
No pun intended?
Oh, yeah, no pun intended.
Vampire stuff.
I wrote that and didn't even think about it. But it would be the nail in the coffin for both of them because they devised a very devious plan, and it was all typed out. So one of the messages she wrote to Jeremy said, "I have a plan. It begins with me getting rid of them and ends with me living with you." And Jeremy responded to this message by saying, "Their throats I want to slit. They will regret the shit they have done. And finally, there shall be silence. Their blood shall be my payment."
Oh my God. What is he watching? An interview with the fucking vampire? Trying to speak like them?
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't that like with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise? Mm-hmm. And he ain't handsome like them.
No, not at all. She wrote tons and tons of messages talking about how much she hated her parents and how much she wanted them gone so the two of them could be together. So on April 23rd, 2006, it was right as the family was heading to bed, Deborah hears a noise, and it sounded like it was coming from the basement. She decides to go down there and investigate to see what the noise is. Suddenly, she's in the basement, and out of nowhere, a man with a mask on pops out from the darkness and attacks her. He stabs her 12 times. Jasmine's dad, Mark, hears his wife screaming, so he runs downstairs, and he sees his wife being stabbed. So Mark grabs a screwdriver, because it's all he saw at the time. He jumps on top of the masked man. He starts punching him in the head, trying to stab him with the screwdriver.
Right in the head.
But the guy turns around, gets him pinned on the ground, and stabs him 23 times.
Damn, this is why you got to work out, because if we would have turned around and you could have threw him down.
I don't know.
Damn, stay strong, people.
Both Mark and Deborah die from their injuries.
It's not their fault. But man, I just get mad when these idiots win. You know what I mean? Because someone give me a bad review. Oh no, it wasn't their fault. I'm not blaming them. I just get mad when these cunts win.
I get it.
I keep a weapon right on the side of my bed, and I have like a couple there. If I hear a noise, I'm up quick. Don't be in this house.
It's true. He does.
Quick, there's a few.
Now, Jasmine's little brother, Jacob, who is only 8 years old, he was in his room and he was scared to death because he could hear all the screams from his parents. He's only 8. Jasmine runs in the room. She's comforting her brother. But then when Jeremy is done killing her parents in the basement, he runs upstairs to Jacob's room. And while there, Jasmine rationalizes killing her brother by saying, well, I know, it's really fucked up. She says, well, his parents are dead now, so who's going to take care of him?
In front of him, she's saying this?
Yeah.
I hope they're dead.
So don't forget, Jasmine is 12.
I hope she's dead anyway.
12-year-old Jasmine stabs her little brother 5 times and then slits his throat. Then Jasmine packs a bag and she runs away with Jeremy. Very shortly after the murders, one of Jacob's little friends came over to the house because Jacob and his friend planned to have a sleepover that night. So
Jacob's little brother.
Yeah. So this little boy who's a neighbor, he comes over and he starts knocking on the door, but no one answers. He looked through the window and he sees that there's blood everywhere. So then he goes and looks through other windows because he feels like something's wrong. And he sees the parents laying in blood on the floor. And he runs back to his parents and tells them, and they call police immediately. Police show up and they see 3 of the family members dead, but they don't see the 4th family member. They knew that a young girl was in the family because police saw the family photo hanging on the wall above the fireplace. But now there's only 3 of them there, so they assume, oh my God, whoever killed this family kidnapped the little girl because she's only 12 and she's missing. So they put out a missing persons alert, right?
She's still missing regardless whether or not she did it. She is missing.
She is. They put out a missing persons alert and it goes all over the media. Meanwhile, they start going through Jasmine's stuff in her bedroom, and they see some suspicious writings. They end up, over the next day or two, calling her school and spoke to a guidance counselor. And they went to the school, and the guidance counselor gave them access to her locker. They go through all her notebooks, and they happen to find a drawing. And I'll show you the drawing. I'll actually post it on our social medias too. It's all stick figures. And one part of the drawing is a house on fire with 3 people in it screaming. And then another part is 2 stick figures running, and then they get into a truck and they're going wah, laughing, ha 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 ha, and they drive off, which is incredibly obvious. So like I said, I'll post it up on social media so you guys can see it. It's pretty crazy. But this made police now start to look at her like a suspect instead of a missing person. Meanwhile, the 2 idiots, Jeremy and Jasmine, went to a party directly after the murders. And they bragged about it. They actually bragged about doing this.
They're all like, bro, we're just pretending to be vampires over here. You gotta relax.
Yeah,
definitely.
No one believed them. They thought they were full of shit. And Jasmine even told these people that her brother Jacob gargled after slitting his throat, which is so despicable and disgusting. But they all thought it was so far-fetched. Like, how could someone actually kill their family? They thought it was so far-fetched, and they thought they were just attention whores, because look at them. They are attention whores, that no one believed them.
I hope they get some bad stuff done to them.
So no one called police, and everyone just thought they were full of shit. So now, at 12 and a half years old, Jasmine is the youngest person to be suspected of murder in Canada ever in the history of their country. They put her name all over the media and say they're searching for her and Jeremy. And a couple of the kids from the party come to the police station because they were like, oh, wait, we thought that they were full of shit, but this is real. So they come to the police station and they tell the police about all the bragging they did about the murder the night of the party.
And they can't go far. No way this cornball has any money. Where are they going to go? He probably has like $17.
Yeah, he was unemployed.
I knew it.
So police were searching frantically for Jasmine the next day, and they find her and Jeremy 90 miles away.
They walked.
No, they drove. And the 2 are arrested and charged with murder. So the trials began in June 2007, which was the following year. While in prison, the whole year waiting their trial, they were writing each other. And the letters they were writing, they were getting confiscated, and they ended up being submitted as evidence by the prosecution. Because in the letters, Jasmine wrote that the 2 of them are now legends and immortal. And there wasn't an ounce of guilt, no remorse for what she did to her family. Jasmine's defense claimed that she only did it because she was under the control of Jeremy. Since she was so young and he was so much older, he had to be controlling her. Jasmine surprisingly took the stand in her own defense and said that all the conversations between the 2 of them were hypothetical, that she wasn't serious about it. And then Jeremy took her seriously and took it to the next level. She pled not guilty to all 3 counts of murder. So after only 2 hours, she was convicted of murder in all 3 counts. But listen to this. Since she was only 12 and a half years old,
waiting for this.
She was a minor. And in Canada, their law states that minors have a maximum sentence of 10 years. So she only got 10 years.
Wow.
For murdering 3 people. Her family.
Wait,
her own
she's
family.
not out now.
Just wait. She was sent to a psych facility for the first 4 years of her sentence, and then spent 4 years under strict supervision in the community. She wasn't even locked up for the following 4 years. Jeremy was found guilty for 3 counts of murder and sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences. In 2012, Jeremy changed his name to Jackson May and submitted an appeal, but his appeal was denied.
How do you change your name in jail?
How do you change your name to Jackson May? I don't even understand that.
Now, that's dumb as hell, too, but where do you get the means to go through the name changes in jail?
I don't know. I really don't. But he appealed, and his appeal was denied. So in 2015, Jasmine finished her sentence. She was released at 23 years old.
If there's karma, a bus is going to run her over while she's crossing the street.
And as of 2020, as long as she had zero legal trouble, her juvenile record was able to be completely expunged. Because in Canada, after a juvenile is released from prison, as long as they stay in good standing with the law for 5 years, everything they did as a juvenile is completely erased. I'm not a fan of that law. Sorry, Canada. Sorry, Canadians. I feel like, yes, I agree. Like, I feel like in America, we overlock people up. I mean, our justice system is super fucked up. So I'm not saying anything bad about Canada that I wouldn't say about my own country. However, I don't think your record should be completely expunged no matter what.
They got it wrong,
it's very circumstantial. Yeah, they got it wrong. So Jasmine now lives as a free woman in an undisclosed location in Canada.
Nothing is undisclosed in the internet. Them don't fuck with cats people made me think that.
That's true.
They'll
Maybe somebody will get her.
Someone knows. I hope. Now, this is why when people talk about karma and all this religious stuff and there's always justice, like, nope. This is why I don't believe a damn thing. Because people like this get away with it. And
Oh, so you don't believe in karma?
I believe in karma when it happens, but when it doesn't happen, I'm like, that's bullshit. Because she deserves to be hit by a Mack truck crossing the street.
Yeah. Well, she now lives in an undisclosed location, and she even got to go to college on a scholarship.
For what?
I don't know what she went to college for, but she got a scholarship.
How'd she get a scholarship?
I don't know. I just read she got a scholarship to go to college. So now there are a lot of people, Russell, that actually back up Jeremy and think his sentence is too harsh. And this is why.
Well, they deserve to do some of his sentence.
Listen, let me explain to you. So their argument is that Jeremy has a condition called FAS, which is fetal alcohol syndrome. So this happens to children when their mom is an alcoholic while you're in the womb. And people with FAS tend to have learning disabilities, impaired judgment. They can sometimes be slow, sometimes easily influenced. And they also have distinct physical abnormalities. They have these facial features that are noticeable and distinct for people who have fetal alcohol syndrome, which is slanted eyes and a flat top lip. So their philtrums, which is right above your Cupid's bow, it's completely flat. And Jeremy has these features, as well as the behavioral issues. And it's pretty evident to many people because of his history, his mom being an alcoholic and everything, that he has fetal alcohol syndrome.
I don't care.
So a lot of people think that Jasmine was actually the mastermind behind all of it, behind the entire plan, because it was her family. And she was trying to get rid of them, and that Jeremy went along with it because he was in love with her.
I don't care. A bad deed is a bad deed. And whether or not you are a drunk baby, that doesn't matter to me, because that means you shouldn't be in society if someone can tell you to go kill someone and you're just going to go kill someone. So you should be in jail having sex with Bubba.
But here's the thing. Do you think that the sentences, like, because she was a minor and she only got 10 years and now her record is totally expunged and she's living as a free woman and she's never apologized for this. She's never been remorseful. She's never done a public statement saying she's sorry. Not that she has to do something public, but like there's been no evidence of remorse. And then he gets 3 consecutive life sentences and he's going to die in prison. Like, you don't feel like that's a little uneven?
Well, yeah, he shouldn't get less. She should get more.
Yeah.
To even it out.
No, I agree with you.
It shouldn't be evened out in the other way to get less. Now, the only way I would have think that maybe she should have gotten less and only done like 10 years is if he did all the killings, but once she killed her brother, that's it. Lock her up. I don't care if she never sees anything again.
Yeah, that was really messed up.
And if you don't agree with me, you're an idiot.
It's so crazy, though, because she's 12. Like, it's so nuts to think that this is a 12-year-old.
Yeah, but at 12, you may not be fully developed, but you're at least half the person you're going to be.
Yeah.
And if you're slitting throats and stabbing your little brother,
yeah,
that's not like...
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, you're not killing animals or something like in the woods.
It's still
like,
bad.
That's terrible, too.
Yeah.
But it's like you might be able to recover from that or like... like killing out. Don't ever touch a dog because then I might have to stab you. But so
you think that even though she's 12,
it's because she did it too. She did the stabbing and then cut his throat and talked about him gargling.
Yeah, that's sick. That's some sick
I didn't even
shit.
like saying that.
I know, it's really sick. So now homeboy Jeremy's rotting in jail and she's a free woman living up in Canada somewhere. Maybe she's listening right now. I wonder if she sees the hashtags of her name on Instagram, because I'm definitely going to hashtag her name.
She probably does. If you do, hit me up and I'll make fun of you some more. I guarantee if I see a picture of you, I'll roast the crap out of you.
She's actually a really pretty girl.
Wow.
She was really pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're all attractive at 12 because, we have nice skin. The hard world hasn't worn us down.
Yeah, true.
We're all cute.
That's true. I wonder what she does look like now.
Yeah, she's probably missing 3 teeth in the front and 1 in the back when she smiles, like you see it, and she tries to hide it.
You're so random. Well, that's it. That's the toxic Valentine story for this year. Jasmine Richardson and Jeremy Stanky. Happy Valentine's Day, Russell.
Stupid stanky leg.
Yeah. That one's messed up.
Stank ass bitch.
You could go on forever. You literally could go on forever. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us for our Valentine's special episode. Check us out on Instagram at Wife of Crime Pod and Facebook at Wife of Crime, The Crime Family. And check out our Patreon at Wife of Crime, The Crime Family.
And if you're looking for some cool-ass clothes for Valentine's Day, or even, if you forgot, oh, snap, I didn't buy my wife something, go to wifeofcrime.com and get some dope-ass merch and just dress like me. Because that's all I wear nowadays.
He wears our merch a lot.
I'm such a corn.
And so also we are going to be doing a listener episode coming up here soon. I have a vault of emails. I have so many. But if you want to hear your story on an upcoming listener episode, email us at wifeofcrimepod@gmail.com. We'll be recording it probably next week, so I'm excited about that because I have some really good stories for you, Russell, from our people.
We record a lot now.
We do.
Getting back into almost weekly.
Almost, with all the bonuses, yeah. All right. Well, have a good week, everyone. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye.